What's going on, everybody? Doc here, Average Gamer Guys, back again, free to play, Last Day on Earth. And have you ever seen this before? I have not, and I have done quite a bit of raiding here. Welcome back to another episode. Excited to jump in. Thank you so very much. We just hit the 2K subscriber mark, so seriously, thank you so much. I just want to say I really appreciate it. We're still driving towards 10K, so if you're checking these out and checking this series out and enjoying it, please consider. But we'll talk about that a little bit closer to the end. So my raid timer have been doing pretty good, but I was traveling for work this last week. You wouldn't have noticed because videos go up, and we're kind of catching up on some content here. We have the updated arena, which we'll be talking about here very shortly, but our raid timer dangerously low at this point, so we were doing a really good job of getting it up to 4 skulls. We essentially had it happen where we really couldn't log in and play. We couldn't raid for about maybe 36 hours, and that cost us a little bit. We lost out on potentially 2 revenge raids. Get a couple of folks ask, because we've been jumping into raiding, with some of the strategies and things. I do have a video in the works for our wilderness survival guide, wasteland survival guide, where we'll jump into the specifics of raiding. But if you want to guarantee raids, what I have found to be the best is you do need to work to try to get to a streak. 2 skulls and up seems to give you a raid pretty consistently. You should do a bait chest. You can do that however you want. Most folks, and what I've been doing with a lot of success, is just basically filling that bait chest up with modded spears. You have to have a blue mod on that. And then it seems like utilizing your energy and running around the base is the best way to do that. So just that's anecdotal, but a lot of people have said the same thing. I have found the same thing. I usually don't end up at the base, but I don't actually know that matters. I've had instances where I'll run to a location, maybe grab some loot or whatever from Bunker Alpha, don't have the energy to run back, and then we'll walk. But I really just try at the end of my grinding session for the day, I will try to use up most of my energy. That's just being efficient. But it seems like doing that and then walking back to the base, you can usually prompt one. If you're playing actively, you can just randomly, I don't want to say randomly, you can get one while you're actively playing, where you could run, be jumping around to different locations and come back and have a base raid. There is some randomness to it, but I feel like, and it seems like from everybody, what we've been talking about and from experiences, that utilizing your energy is a really good way of doing that. And then having a base with things in it and loot that is attractive, and having your bait chest filled up, I feel like also is a big indicator and a big help for that. So hopefully you can have some success with that. I've also seen some comments related to good bases, bad bases. Here's what I just want to comment and say. If you raid long enough, you're going to see a streak of really, really bad bases. If you raid long enough, you're going to see some of the best bases. Keep in mind that how they assessed bases and what bases they put into the loot pool, or the pool where you could go to raid, is very wide. And a base that has 2 electronic circuits and like a couple of engines in it will be a base that would fit into the criteria to be raided. A base with a stack of 20 electronic circuits that becomes available moves to the top, which could still feel like a really terrible base, but just with the way that the loot system works, that's just how it goes. So there are some fantastic bases out there. Just keep in mind the percentage of them are very, very low. There's only a handful of bases that I've ever come across that have like stacks and stacks of guns. Very, very few. Most of them are going to have a moderate amount, couple of weapons, some decent resources, some steel. The advanced metals like steel bars and steel plates are pushed to the top of the list just from a points perspective, because in the old days, years and years ago, those were extremely valuable resources, right? Engine parts were extremely valuable. So keep that in mind. If you have a bad run of bases, it's just unfortunately bad RNG. Get your rate of rep up. I have on my main account seen solid bases, like really good bases with tons of guns. But again, that is infrequent at best for most folks. Just keep in mind, if you're raiding, you should expect a decent base, should have some decent resources that you need, hopefully a couple of weapons, and that's probably on average the best that you can hope for. There are certainly much worse bases, and much better bases. But we need to do some raiding here. Hopefully you're not sick of the raiding episodes, because we're going to be doing this a lot, and I got to get my timer back up. So we got hit with a revenge raid. They hit our bait chest. We got Lily, and then I queued it up because when I do these, I like to just jump in and be able to do both. So I honestly have never seen this where we get the exact same base twice. I've never seen that. And I've queued up, had revenge raids, gone to queue other raids pretty consistently. I can honestly say I've never seen both bases. So I think let me check before I run here. We're going to be bringing one C4 and a couple of hatchets here. We're going to knock both of these bases out. I do have our healer back at the base to give us some energy, so we can basically burn our energy down for both of these and jump in. This isn't going to be a great base. It's going to be okay. It's going to have exactly what I said. It'll have a few weapons. It's going to have some resources. It's going to be very easy for us to basically get all this stuff, pop into the base here. And we just have this section of crates, essentially. We're going to have some of our spears. This is our revenge raid, so take these guys out. We have this section of 9 crates. There's some okay stuff in here. I don't know if we'll have to go ahead and do the reset trick. I don't think we will here. There might be enough that makes this worthwhile, but likely that won't be the case. I'm not sure. I did quick research on this, and I was just a little flabbergasted that we got the exact same base. It just goes to show you that it's just, again, it's a lot of RNG, unfortunately. So I'm cracking these two open because they have extra of these. We got some heals. We got lots of coupons. If you know me, you know that I enjoy coupons. But it also has these. Here's that. There's an electronic circuit for us. So this is pretty nice. We got some decent stuff here. I'm just going to take a whole lot of these things. That actually replaced one of the hatchets, I think, which is okay. And then we'll 3-chop the rest of this stuff. Again, decent materials here. And this is the revenge raid, so this one's free. Some carrots, get some food. Take these guys out. Shouldn't have a problem opening up all of this. I could use the food instead of our heals here. That's okay. I wish we would take out the fast biters here first. Seems like they would be in the position where we would do that. Double big boys. We're going to end up bringing just the perfect amount of weapons here. I think our spears did replace a few things. Lots of coupons here. I love me some coops. And we will set up to take those mostly. Some of these didn't have anything in them. Here's some engine parts and some gas. Okay, let's go ahead and fill the chopper up. I actually think I do reset this one. And where are we sitting here? Got a couple of chops left with that. So we can fill up here. I'm going to obviously take the gas. Take the AK. I think there's usually supposed to be an M16. We might find it at one of the other crates. I'm just going to take all these tickets. That represents a whole bunch of crates. These are essentially 2 of the alpha crates per. This is like 2.5, I guess. This also could just be a lot of rep for us for the hardcore mode to get floppies, which is another reason. Ever since they updated Bunker Alpha, you used to not be able to turn the coupons into rep. Ever since they changed that, which was in an update a while ago, most of you might not realize that you didn't used to be able to use those for that. You just had to use hardcore items, hard mode items. Ever since they did that, these made these a lot more valuable, actually. You don't get a ton of rep for these. Red tickets, you obviously get a lot more, but yellow tickets aren't bad, so worthwhile. I think we'll take the engine part. I don't really need engine parts or this electronic circuit. I'd rather take something that's a full stack. I'll just take the iron. So we're not going to be able to open up the rest of these before this last wave gets to us. Let's just top up with some food. I'm going to put the food here. And then I'll take a spear as a backup weapon. I don't really particularly want to do that. Lots more coops here. So we'll take that. What do we got here that I would want? Really, I'd want this. Some of this stuff would be good to take. We don't really need most of that. Yeah, this one's empty. I want to say it was one of these that had the M6. There's the M16. Okay. Definitely some good stuff to take. So we'll do the reset trick here. No reason not to. Got a lot of good resources to take. We'll do this on both, which is going to be really nice. So again, a decent base. I'll be pretty happy with this one. That's all right. So what we can do here, and this will just be one slot. There's no armor here, so we'll reset our armor. We will reset the armor. We grab all this goodies. We got the extra slot because of the gas, essentially. I just want to check my timer here. Yeah, we're doing good. We got 28 minutes. We'll be plenty fine. Go drop our coupons in. I don't really need the heals. What I should do is take a small stack of food with me. We'll drop our AK mod on. Looking good. So in that span of being revenge raided, we did get hit. And we did lose a couple of guns during that. Not going to lie to you. Because we couldn't go and essentially hit that other raid or get that revenge raid back. What happened is the first raid, they ended up taking, you know, my bait chest, which was fine. They just took the bait chest. The second raid, though, because we didn't reset and build our walls back and didn't have our bait chest up, they did end up hitting us a little bit harder and took some stuff. I was able to get most of it back, but not quite all of it, which does happen from time to time. And that's just the way of the raids. I'll just use this, I guess. We'll reset with some armor here. And we are good to go. Grab our things back. I'm just doing this just to make sure. You don't really... I probably could get away with not bringing the food if I wanted to. I could probably get away... If I baited the big guys around, I could probably get away without bringing the weapon. But we're going to be safe. That way we don't run into it. Essentially just costs us a slot. The food I'm not worried about. We'll throw that down. We'll fill up. I think we're going to have more spots than, you know, really good items we want to grab. So we can be okay from there. This basically just means that we're able to kill these guys a little bit easier. We do have our full health heal here, which we could... Ideally, we just pop. We really, again, we didn't need to bring the food. The food was extra, which is okay. Not a big deal. All right, let's grab our body. Let's grab our backpack. Grab our things. We'll throw this on. I honestly don't care about these at all. I am going to go ahead and top up our health items. Definitely want this and this. I'm glad I didn't grab the other electronic circuit. Some red tickets here. Yeah, this will be pretty good. This is actually a pretty solid base. I'm not upset about this base at all. Let's just make sure none of these I need. And we got some more food here. Oh, I need a hatchet. I don't think there's actually anything in there, but I don't want to not break it open, you know? We could craft a hatchet, make some noise. Maybe we do that. There's some decent stuff here. I'd like to take the leather. I'd like to take the saw blade mace. Let's drop this in for the wood at this point. Some extra heals is pretty good too. But we have some slots here, so let's go ahead. We'll fill the chopper back up. Kind of want to hit both of those as well. It makes sense that we could craft it. We could step out and craft it. I'm going to take the full tickets and then essentially the single slot items and full stacks. That's good. I'm happy with that. That is not bad. Not bad. I am going to go ahead and... Oh, I don't have any wood. Let's grab the wood. We'll craft the hatchet. We'll smack this last box. I honestly want most of this wood. We'll have to put that back. Can use this up. I don't... Was it this one? No, this one did. Okay. What makes sense to take here? Honestly, I think... Let's see how much... Alright. I can't do both without triggering it, which I don't really mind. I don't care too much. Is there anything else I care about grabbing? I say the answer to that is probably no. I like the coupons. The one battery is kind of like... I know I'm in the way of it, sorry. One battery is kind of like whatever. Limestone. Really, we should not be taking this. I probably shouldn't be taking the wood, if I'm being honest. Grabbing, like, thick fabric, but I don't use a ton of thick fabric. Ball bearings, maybe. Some bolts. Probably better. To make the spears. Part of the reason I'm taking the stacks of wood is so that I can go make the spears back. Refill our bait chest, which we'll make sure to want to do. I mean, iron pickaxe, crowbar, that stuff's all fine. There's a world in which I should take like this full stack of... I think I can make a full stack of cloth instead of those two. Yeah, see, so this is technically 4 bandages if we want to min-max this. Which, you know, we got our value out of this anyways, so I'm not really too concerned about it. Recycler doesn't have anything in it, I don't think. And I think these do have a few not full stack materials. I think I'm pretty good with that. Got our weapons. We're good. We'll use this armor. We'll use these weapons this next round. And that's pretty good. And that's what we'll look. Here's the other beautiful part. We get to rinse and repeat this again. So, chopper was full up. I'll take it. Couple of weapons. We did use up a C4, but a pretty easy raid. Nothing to stress about. We'll bring 1 extra hatchet from the last time. And that feels pretty good. I'm genuinely pretty happy with that. Now, the other thing we could look at doing, we could use a worse set of armor, and we'll go in with more food this next time, I think. We'll use food as our heals. And we can steal the rest of their food. That's a little bit more efficient to doing that. Get our stack back. Need to probably upgrade that chest. Let's see here. Put this down. We have been using up quite a bit of leather, so I'd like to get some of that back if possible. Power this up. Stack this up. I have pretty run dry, I will tell you, on charcoal, so I've been focused a lot on that. We had all of these going for a minute, and that actually really depleted my... You can run both of these two, or 2 of these pretty efficiently, but we are working on making a whole lot of steel bars, which has been great, but I want to get my charcoal stack back up here. I want to get my box filled back up. I'm going to kind of just focus on that for the moment. And charcoal, I feel like, is probably one of the... I don't say it's overrated, because I think people understand the value, but it don't ever undervalue charcoal. You use so much of it, it's a very important resource. I did not realize, but we got 2 filters from this, which is actually going to be really nice. Making some good progress here. Get some nice progress. Working towards our ATV, which I'm very excited about. Had a couple other comments that talked about, spending resources, and what, question got asked, why are we putting steel plates in this? My next big focus for the base is to upgrade all of these chests up to our 45 slotters. Now, that takes oak, which we have farmed a lot of, and I've gotten away from a little bit. I was really hoping raids were going to help me more with this. I need a base that has just stacks and stacks of oak planks or oak, just like oak wood in it. If there was a full chest of planks or what, I would take it. I would 100% take it. It's not the hardest resource for us to get. It's just one of the most time consuming. So right now I'm really focused on just using steel bars to make these upgrades. I don't have a need necessarily to take any of these up to the 75 slots quite yet. I am in good position in terms of storage, especially when you consider we make really good use here of this, right? I have a lot of stuff in here that I could move around and make use of and do different stuff with, but I think it's important to realize that, everybody's in a different position when it comes to base needs. And right now, I don't have a ton of need for storage. I also one of the main goals that I have of this series, trying to get the ATV. I want to show that free-to-play players can get the ATV. I think that's really important because I feel like there's lots of folks out there that don't think they can. And it takes it's going to take a long time. I mean, we're 9 or 10 months, I think, into this series with this account. That's not a small amount of time. That's not a small amount of time investment. But I feel like here in the near term, we're going to be able to do this. So I'm excited about trying to do that. So that's why I'm spending the time and putting the resources there. Plus, it's one of those where you can sync the resources, right? Wherever you want to sync your resources, by all means, sync your resources, wherever makes sense for you. I personally am going to sync my resources for the time being into that, and that's okay. And if you want to sync your resources into upgrading your storages, by all means, do it. At some point, we will upgrade these, right? We will upgrade these. But to me, this will probably come after we've built like a steel fortification base, and after we've done all the steel for, the ATV, and we'll work towards it that way, right? We are much, much closer to upgrading and actually getting the ATV done than probably both of those things. Now, we still do need a lot of air filters, a lot of cogs. We only need a handful more batteries. We need 13 more gas cylinders. So we're working towards it, but we need 140 steel plates and 120, a little less than 120 carbon composite. I'm hoping there's a few things here that over the next season or two, I'm hoping we can make some progress in our settlement that will actually help us with that. So that could be pretty cool as well to take a look at it. So all that being said, that's where we're at. That's the thought process. If you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to do it that way. You do not have to do it that way in the slightest. You can do it however you see fit, make it work for you in the single player game and make your progression. But keep in mind that if you're not progressing in a certain way, there might be some things you could think about changing. I talk a lot about this, but it's very important, in my opinion, it's very important that you make sure that you're trying to focus on only one or two things, especially things that share resources. You need to kind of figure out what your goals are. If you don't do that, what you're going to end up finding out is that you run into a challenge of getting anything upgraded because you're trying to spread your resources a little too thin. And that, in and of itself, can be a problem. So that's why we try to focus on only like one or two weapon mods at once, right? A lot of weapons mods share the same thing and then become a challenge to get done because you're spreading the resources around and feel like you're not making any progress. It's better to just try to dump it all into one or two. Some mods don't require weapon parts or require less springs, and you can, whatever. You really should be dumping it all into that at once and trying to make progress there. You'll actually get that stuff done. So let's hit Lily again. Got the C4. Got her things. This is so funny. It's exactly the same base. Oh, this makes me laugh. This wasn't bad. I'm going to get a couple of guns out of this. I'm pretty happy with it. Just for a single C4, too. Isn't bad. Say we should have the Zamzams. We have our full heal. We'll use this up. We're going to have to because we switched targets again. And I know we could step forward or whatever. Just, I wish you could kind of almost lock in a little bit. Knock these guys out. There we go. All right. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to open these two chests up. That way if we need this. There's the AK. Beautiful. Definitely want this and this. I forget all what we ended up taking. Took this, took these. All right, there was two. So one of these did get replaced the last time. So I'm not crazy. Definitely want the air filters. Probably want that. All right. And we'll 3-trap everything else. That way we use up our hatchets. 4 was the perfect amount to bring for this. Especially considering we found the 2. This is going to crack this, yep. Engine parts, gas. And I'm take the food. We'll use it here. Better heals. Chop down our weapon. Definitely going to reset again. We probably could position on this wall a little bit better to not get hit by some of these guys. We really wanted to do that. I don't really mind. We have enough armor. I'm really not too concerned in that perspective. All right, grab some food. What was in here? We grabbed that already. Forget which other one was the food one. There's some food there. There's some tickets. Definitely want that. All right, drop this down. Let us go and secure what we need here. We can reset again. We'll be in good shape here. Good base. Good base. Definitely want the tickets. Take the AK. Do this again. I mean, the amount of crates we're going to be able to grab from this is really nice. And again, I think I'm going to push towards probably turning some of those in to get some hard mode progress in Bunker Alpha. I think that would be beneficial for us. Let's take a look here. What else do I want? Here was more food. We'll just hang on to that in case we need it. I forget which one had the weapons. Was it this one? Yeah, there it is. Definitely want those. Definitely want that. Leather's good. Keep that open. That's the one that didn't have anything in it. All right. We're pretty well set here. We'll have a little bit more opportunity. Pop some of the stuff down. I put both stacks in here just in case. Yeah, we lost our armor, so stay heavily healed. Nice part here is I'm really not even sacrificing my own heals, and I don't care about. I don't care about using up the food. We have plenty of food back at the base. All right, get down to here. This on. Punch you a couple times. Chopper's filled up. Boom. Easy peasy. I love this. I love being able to do this. I also got asked the question a couple of times since we've been doing a lot of raiding. How are we doing research for raids? For me, it's very simple. One, I check if we have a playlist of raids, LDOE raid series. If you want to go check that out, that has a bunch of bases where we walk through, talk through what you can do. The easiest way, though, if it's not part of the channel here, is to literally just go into your Google or your Bing search or whatever you choose to use, and just type the name of the base, LDOE raid. That's it. That's all you got to do. And when you do that, what should happen is it'll probably bring up YouTube. And there's lots of folks who have done a great job of putting bases up that they've raided. And you'll be able to see that you can go and watch their raids. There's a couple of particular creators that I will go and pay attention to a little more. Are the raiders here? Did I not pay attention? Now, why did that happen? Well, that's a little unfortunate. I'm still not mad because we got the tickets. We've had this happen before, but what happened is our game crashed, and it counted us as us leaving the raid. We did not do that this time. What did we miss out on? Katana, M16, probably some more tickets. Air filters, I think I'm the most upset about, probably, because it's just a nice way to grab a couple extra air filters. I'm really curious why that happened. We still got the raid, so it still helps our timer. I'm not gonna be too upset. I'm really wondering, because we got the same base, did it think that we had already left that base? That's the only plausible thing I can think. Because we ran to this one. We got the reset trick here. No problems. We ran to this just the first time. Fresh timer. Hit it. Last set of enemies. We didn't leave. The game must have thought that we had already been to that base. I think the only unfortunate part, the biggest unfortunate part about that is I lost my backpack. Now, I think I have... Whew, we're running low here. Only got one spare after this, which isn't great. That's a bit of a bummer. That's the only thing I can plausibly think to have happened there, though. I don't know why it would have... We got the AK, and we got a bunch of tickets. So I'm like I said, I'm not super upset about that. We lost a few things. Losing the backpack kind of stinks. You can see we've been raiding very nicely. Man, I'm just confused. That's interesting. I really think that is what happened, though. I'm gonna make a guess to say that's what happened. I think because the base was the same, it looked at us going to do that revenge raid as having traveled there already and traveled back. And then so the way the suicide trick works is you used to be able to scout the base. You could run to it once, you could leave, actually run out, and then run back to it. And that allowed you, if you didn't do any research that I was talking about, that allowed you to basically figure out what kind of tools do I need. You could kind of get a layout for the base, see how big it was, do things like that. However, they didn't intend that if you died at that place that you could go back. And I think to a certain extent, maybe they did. It makes sense if you make a mistake and accidentally die that you don't lose the raid. So it's kind of cool that you get to go back. But it only works is if you haven't left the base already. And interesting. I think the game probably thought that revenge raid, because they were exactly the same, maybe that we had traveled back and forth to that already. So, I've never seen that before. Very interesting. Okay, well, stuff happens. It is what it is. We'll move on. We got our puppers here ready to go. We need to raise some pups, crossbreed some pups, and raise the rank puppy up. And we'll do some breeding here. But first, I try my best to time these things. Let's go ahead and hopefully get lucky with a good set of raid tasks. Puppies would be good. Bunker Alpha tasks would be good because I need to still go. I have not done Bunker Alpha yet, so I'll be jumping into that. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and do some dog breeder. After we do the dog breeder piece, I will jump over into head hunting. I'm going to have a video coming out tomorrow talking about my thoughts for this. Probably still share a little bit. Before I do that, I have 4 minutes left. Let me see what do we got here. Grab a C4. Hopefully, Bunker Alpha can help us. 4th floor, I can easily do that. Blind one, easily do that. 52 Mike, hate that, but 3 guns and recycler. This is a pretty nice set of tasks, actually. I'm not thrilled about 52 Mike, but that's okay. 3 guns is pretty easy. We can actually skip this with our things. I'm going to go ahead and do that, probably, because we have some of our ad skips. The only tough one here will be, well, C4, we got to get lucky at Bunker Alpha, so hopefully we have a decent crate. But clearing 4th floor is fine. We need to do that and deal damage anyways for the task. And killing the blind one is fine by me. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad set of tasks, actually. So I'm going to go ahead, pause right here. I will be back in a editing second, and I'm going to grab our energy, and then we'll breed some dogs. Be right back. All right, we're back. And we did some ad skips, which was actually really good. So we already got this done. Just put in 3 guns, hit skip, and we're done. Save ourselves, you know, a couple hours of recycler grinding, and that was good. So now we're set up here. We'll be heading over to Bunker Alpha to take care of both of these. Like I said, I still do have the task for completing this, so I definitely want to try to get, this season reward progress. We're doing okay so far this season. 10 days left, level 52, so we should have a pretty good run here of still trying to make it to the end. But let's go ahead. We didn't get any dog breeding tasks, but we will go ahead and breed. And I should also show you, so we're up to 3 skulls here. We'll make sure to set up our bait chest before we go, and then we'll be in a good position to probably grab a revenge raid from here, which can then help us. And 52 Mike, we could actually probably find him pretty quickly. So we will see what happens with that. But I want to drop this in because we're going to be breeding some dogs. We raise 5 pups, crossbreed 3, and raise a puppy of rank 3 or higher. So let's try to do some of that. I have some pups. I have 2 pups ready to go. Modify. Modify. So there's 2. Gosh, these have a whopping 30 minutes left to get going. Here's the problem. Besides this guy, oh, these level 2 dogs could be good. This might be a level 3. Maybe? Maybe. I'm actually wondering. I don't have a lot of coins. I'm going to skip this one, hoping this is a level 3. Okay, good. It is. Whew. Say that would have been a waste. All right, now we've got this up. We need to raise 2 more pups. We'll be able to do that. I need to crossbreed 3 doggos though, and I have some options here. Let's do it. Let's do it with Samantha here. Hoping this is a level 4 pupper. Ooh, it might be. And then I'll be able to breed these 2, and I think these 2. So I guess we're not going to finish this here, which is fine. I'm just going to wait the 30 minutes. We've got plenty of food queued up here, so that's pretty good. I think I'm going to put my Explore team back on. And that might slow this down a little bit, did it? Nope, still 30 minutes. So that's okay. Got our Explore and Breed team on. Still looking for my first true friend here. Still looking to try to do that, but we got plenty of times for that, so we'll get some more points. I'm going to go ahead and grab some Leapings here. And I'm going to head over only have one Glock pistol. Let's grab a katana and that. Let's grab some armor and some extra heals. I'll head over to Headhunting Arena. I actually had that down there. What do I need here? Just the jacket, I think. I've been okay with building this. Getting this armor. Let me grab a second stack of heals. Grab some food. We'll head over to the Headhunting Arena. I think it reset for me for the day. I think we could be good. Trying to get the points. Trying to do this every day. Like I said, I'll have a... I want to grab my things for my gas. I'll have a video up tomorrow talking about my total thoughts on it. There's some things I like. There's some things I don't. I don't want to say too much stuff. It's tough. It's tough. Some of the things I like, I really enjoy. Like I really enjoy about this new one. There's some things I do not, though. Things I absolutely do not. And I didn't mind. So where am I sitting right now? I'm sitting at level 6. We've not made a ton of progress in this. I've probably neglected this a little bit. Let's see what our fights are. I think these rotate every day. Yeah. So shotgun is effective. That's okay. We can do that. We can pistol the guy. I don't think this one is too bad. We're doing good damage here. That was weird. That was really odd. What I want to try to do is pull him so that it's easy. Okay, he did hit it. Then it explodes. It deals good damage to him. This one's probably one of the easier ones, I feel like. That stunned me. That's not great. That hurt. Pop him down. This should be easy to finish him off. Shotgun was extra effective here, so this is going to be nice. This will be some good points. I'm going to say one thing. The variety of the battles is really fun. I actually really... I think all of these are really cool. They're all kind of different, kind of unique. I think Soul and Mate, in my opinion, is one of the harder ones. Just because you have to very carefully drain both of their lives. I think that's actually probably one of the hardest ones, if I had to say. The rest of these, I haven't felt like they were too bad. I guess part of my... I have a few arguments. Again, I'll save most of that. It's cool. There are parts of it that are really cool. Shotgun is just absolutely destroying. Wish I would have brought 2 of these. It's doing a lot of damage. Pull this guy over to here. Uh-oh. Don't die. Dying would be the worst. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, let's see here. We're doing good. We could probably melee this guy down quite a bit. I just don't know that I care to. Probably just hit him with some M16. Then maybe we do hit him with that. I don't know. Let's see. This one really isn't that bad. The fact that you do a couple hundred damage, let's do that. With the barrels themselves, it's pretty good. Oh, that does slow them down too. Oh, you could absolutely just melee these guys. Some of them you can. I think that's what I appreciate in the old headhunting arena. I don't feel like you really could melee them a ton. Why didn't he get stunned long enough? Confused by that. Gonna hit him with some melee here. He takes massive damage from that. You could really just... There's a world in which you could just probably dodge this guy. Hit him with these. Get him stunned. This should be his multi-attack. I would have thought. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not good. I feel like I've almost like permanently slowed him. I know that's not true. Just with him doing that, this is fine. I'm just gonna kill him like this. Easy. I should have just been meleeing this guy from the get-go. Huh. Okay. So here's the thing. 150 points a day. Well, not the first day. That's where this gets a little... I think one of the changes I would like to see is to allow you, in the first day that you come here, get all the way to the top. Now, that doesn't set you back a ton, but the extra 50 points would be fine, and I'd just like you to be able to do that. I think it's fine that you have to fight through each of these. I don't actually have a problem with that. That gets you to basically have to fight each of these bosses, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I would expect the next time that it comes around, just like we see from the commune, that you can go right to the nightmare difficulty if you've completed these already. So the next time around will be interesting. The big question that I have that relates with all of this is what is going to happen with this? Will we be able to complete this every time? Or is our progress going to roll over from season to season? If it rolls over from season to season, a lot of folks are saying, and I think the math checks out, that you can't do this without spending coins and getting these things, which is probably true. I want to say, you'll have to watch my video tomorrow. I've broken this down. I just don't recall. I want to say it's either 80 or 100 points to get these last couple of levels. I think it's 80 through here. It might be 100 on the recycling one. I'd love to see what was in this. We'll be sharing that though. So if you can just get through this essentially and your progress remains, because this is a lot like the event tracks that we've seen before. We saw this with like the winter event and a few others. I actually like this reward track where you're gaining kind of like a separate type of experience. The question I have, and where a lot of people are not a big fan of, they don't really like the rewards, which I can't really blame them for, because this is a lot of just basic materials. And you think about the old arena. The old arena, you could get weapon mod blueprints. You could get a whole folder of weapon mod blueprints by beating it. Arguably, it was much harder. It was much harder. However, if you were able to do that, it was a fantastic way to get some of that stuff, which I think is where people are frustrated by. We'll crack the chest open, watch the video tomorrow. We'll showcase what's in there. We'll spend some more time talking about it. Parts of it I really like. I'll share my thoughts. You'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it is, but we'll see what happens with this, as I feel like there's going to be more. I feel like there's going to be more to it, right? You could do this boost too, but again, if you don't spend money and don't have the Z coins, then that becomes useless to you. So, yeah, I understand. understand what frustrations are. Understand. They got all these missing posters. They've teased about this in a Twitter post and actually on the Discord, and a few other places. A bunch of missing posters for people. Like, you got all these posters over here. They said some investigation is going to be needed, so it'll be interesting to see if there's abilities to like level this up or do different things. Get some of these trophies would be really cool. Like, I love some of these trophies at the base. This would be really fun if you could do that, get that as a reward here in the future, but we shall see. So I think we're going to leave you there. An interesting episode. A couple of firsts. I've never had a few of these things happen. I've never had the double base, which was really interesting, and then we got kind of screwed a little bit on that other base. I really do think that it thought we had run there already. I wish I had known that, because obviously we treat that raid a whole lot differently. We don't die there so that we don't lose the raid, don't lose our supplies. We would have just made the best of it with the storage that we had, but that happens from time to time. So thank you again so much for all the support. I'm going to flash some socials, do the YouTube thing. Lots more Last Stand Earth content coming to you. Thank you for all the questions in the comments. Do our best to respond, answer those, prompt some ideas for some discussion for future episodes. So hopefully that is helpful for you as long as you're continuing to tune in and like chatting with you. We do have a Discord. We have links in the description for all that stuff. A couple other channels if you want to go give us some love on our main channel or our AGG MTG channel, which is where all of our Magic the Gathering content has gone. We'd really appreciate that. Hitting that sub button for us here would be great. Still trying to work towards 10K. We're 1/5 of the way there, a little more than that by the recording of this. So thank you again so very much for all the support. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be sure to catch you in the next one. Peace.